All right, folks. One time for the last time of Atlanta, the final season, the final episode, series review. And it's been a ride. 4 seasons of complete artistic genius from Donald Glover. And we all were wondering, what would it look like when it came to an end? And here we are. Last episode titled, It Was All a Dream. Terrell and Najee, Terrell and I were here to get into it. Man, it's a little bit emotional, man. First of all, I love this episode and I had a good time. There's things I definitely want to talk about for sure. But at the end of the day, I think at the end, I was just kind of like, wow, man, like, no more. And I honestly, in the bottom of my heart, feel like it's a see you later. I do feel like there will be something somewhere down the line. I mean, Donald Glover has done just genius work with this series, but also a lot of barrier breaking as well. I mean, we can even talk about, him featuring Judge Judy on this show. Judge Judy being a property of CBS, which is a property of Viacom on a Disney channel. And, Judge Judy's about her money. So that had to have been a nice featured check for Miss Judah Sherlin here.
Judah Shyland, yeah.
Shyland, yeah. Who also is now getting a check from Amazon. So, like, you're not getting Judge Judy without, cashing a check.
What is it about Judy that people like so much? Jeez.
Everything. Man. I love Judge Judy. I mean, clearly, you just, Darius, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I feel like it's a see you later, man. Not a so long goodbye or whatever. But I'm just gonna say, reflecting back into all the seasons, man, a lot of my life has changed. I remember who I started watching this with. I remember a particular person saying I had to watch this, and that was our thing. And I remember where I was watching it by myself, and then obviously I remember when we first started covering it. And it's just been an amazing journey. And not only just that, I mean, going back to season 1, seeing these actors, and you're just like, oh, this is just a new show for the culture. But like, look where they've been since then. Like, Zazi's a big name. Yeah, like Brian Tyree Henry just did this fantastic movie on Amazon, on Apple TV Plus. I mean, everybody is getting it, and Darius, why is his name blanking out my head right now? Lakeith also just did one of my favorite animes that didn't get enough love, but he fucking killed it voice acting. And what's the name of it on Netflix?
The Samurai joint?
Yes.
Oh my god, I cannot think of the name of it.
And that soundtrack was hitting, bro. It's right in my phone right there. Yeah, but like, folks have definitely all been stars from this show. I know it's Donald Glover's show, but every single person has became a star from this. And
he has definitely elevated everybody on that show. Like, when he came into it, he was already a well-known star. Mm-hmm. But Brian, Lakeith, and Zazie, all of them careers they've gone to so many different heights, movie-wise, and so much more because of Atlanta. Especially Brian, as I go through his filmography. Like, if you really look at from Atlanta on past that, he started really getting roles. I mean, he was already like a Broadway and theater actor, but he really started boosting. I mean, come on, man. Atlanta's definitely got to give thanks for Atlanta for being in Eternals, MCU. Like, come on.
Yasuke, that's what it was. Yeah. Man, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet. We watched the episode, obviously, and we were just kind of like, wow, like, it's a great episode to talk about, but I'm ready to get back to work next week. I'm ready to review another episode, you know what I mean? And I guess maybe it'll hit a little bit later on, but for right now, I'm just kind of just like, I don't know. I'm just kind of stuck between, like, I can't believe this is it. I really love this series. And I maybe this is how I felt when Insecure was done. I was just kind of like, damn, man. Like,
yeah, I think with Insecure, though, like, people were looking for the perfect ending. Because of the way the pacing of the show was going, and people also were not expecting for that. I don't think people were expecting that to be the last season because of where it left. It could have been so much more. Whereas this, like, we knew from the beginning that this was the last season. Yeah, and I don't think I had any expectations as to where this would end. But like you said, like I always knew it would be open. Like
there has been rumors attached to this, that one, the title being it was all a dream. So was it always going to just be everything since the beginning when Eren got shot, Darius got shot, and it was the idea of like, was this all just going to be a dream sequence from the beginning? That's what a lot of people were kind of like trying to connect this to. And then the title of the episode did not help those theories. Did not further. They only but helped those theories. And The Walking Dead's ending this week. Folks are thinking that that's also going to end in a dream sequence as well too. Saying that was this everything that Rick was thinking about when he was in a hospital bed? I mean, these are the things that people are saying, and they're going back to saying, was Ern being shot? Was this all a dream of his going forward? And I don't think there was ever going to be a perfect ending. I don't think there's going to be a perfect ending for this. I don't think there was a perfect ending for Insecure. I don't think there was a perfect ending or will be a perfect ending for Walking Dead. I just think like we just want to be happy, and I am happy. I think this was definitely a celebration of the culture. This has definitely elevated all of our main cast into bigger, better spots. Everybody cashing checks. And they gave us a lot, and I'm just optimistic that maybe again it's just a see you later, not a goodbye. So,
but like I said before, and every episode since we did this, every episode was tying a bow on certain things, and on, not want to say loose ends, but giving more depth and tying bows on certain things. And I think they did a really great job of doing this, because I felt like everybody needed an episode. Like everybody episode, like Darius, Paperboy, and Ern. Everybody had the episode tying off a lot of bows.
Well, we were waiting for the Darius one. This was I was like, all right, we're going to get some type of closure with Darius. And well, would you ever had thought that Darius would be the main feature for the last episode? No. That's so wild to me. That's so wild.
Information that we didn't even think we were even going to get.
Yeah. So Terrell, I know you want to kind of do like a whole series recap, and I think I need just a little more time because it's a lot to consider here.
Yeah, like
favorite episodes, favorite moments, things that is embedded into the culture now because of this. Because I mean, this is what this series did. It definitely moved the needle in terms of representation for the culture, Black representation, and still certain properties within the culture, and again, I can always, think to the counterpart of Insecure, which obviously is a different genre, but like it still was about the culture and like us being seen. This is a Black show. That's a Black show. So we show Black excellence and Black greatness throughout these shows. And when you got somebody like an Issa Rae and somebody like a Donald Glover like getting to really exercise their creative geniuses, and the network's fully supported, I mean, I hope we get more. I know we got some things now I can easily talk about, but I mean, like, they were trendsetters. It's just what it is. They definitely open up the doors for a lot of what we're getting, and folks realizing like I don't have to just do Black exploitation or Black struggles and all this sorts of thing. Like, no, we can get out there and show like, yo, this is what it's like to be in LA. This is what it's like to be in Atlanta.
Two Black people with Black shows on premium networks, being able to tell weird Black stories without any specific, this has to fit this genre or anything like that. Because both of those shows, I feel like, or probably more so Atlanta, I feel like Atlanta is able to fluctuate through different genres. And whereas though Insecure was fitting the whole story. But anyway, two Black shows on premium networks, they did an amazing job. So
yeah, and let's remember one thing: they not only told like a central core story arc within our characters, but they told these anthologies as well too, and did not care. And they hit some sensitive things, And just to kind of explain to you why and so important this is, I mean, you can look at a show like Woke, which was directed towards the hard conversations within our community, and it got canceled. It wasn't because it
was hitting hard too,
and it absolutely was, and it wasn't because it wasn't popular or people didn't know what it was. It's just because some things work, some things don't, and here we are with this. And let's get into tonight's episode. And the first moment this cut on, and anybody that's been watching this channel literally just saw me drop a review for Judy Justice. because I love some Judge Judy. I love some Judge Judy. So the moment this cut on, I said, why the hell am I seeing Judge Judy on Atlanta? And I was just like, oh my God, whatever this is about to be, this is not what I needed to be. I need closure. I need to be able to get up from this and go on with my day. But instead, we got Judge Judy, and I'm like, oh, well, here comes the foolishness now. Now, they done hit a Goofy movie. Now they done mess with Judge Judy. I mean, goddamn, what they going to hit next week? I mean, like, they're going to have Dragon Ball Z on here next? Like,
I was expecting that at some point, but yeah.
Like, damn, dog, stay away from our properties, you know. But Judge Judy on Atlanta, and the first thing I say is, who the hell's paying for this? Because Judge Judy,
yeah, she makes a lot per episode, bro. It's crazy.
For real. Shit, me name dropping her 4 times already. We already got to cash a check for $50 for that. She can't say her name. That's why I messed up her last name on purpose. But first thing I said was, a Darius sighting after Judge Judy thing. I said, a Darius sighting. Okay, good, because we want the Darius episode. I wasn't expecting it to be the final episode, but yeah, they're all chilling in the crib. Al's in there, and old Mick Alford had a farm with the funniest freestyle ever. I mean, but it goes back to last week's episode. The boys and the camaraderie. And they can just get in there and freestyle, but make jokes at each other. It's like, come on, man, get your shit. Let's go, man. Like, but it was funny. I was digging that. But yeah, let me throw it back to you. And in all due respect to the comment that was made last week, let me make sure I give Terrell more voice time. Yeah, somebody was like, I talk too much. My apologies. But so Terrell, beginning part of this episode was sort of your thoughts, some of these moments that were kind of sticking out to you and whatnot.
Yeah, like you said, we were talking about the whole Judge Judy thing. I didn't know where they were going to go with that, but I knew once the Shine was on, because I said everybody was getting a tie-up from the last episode, right? We got the whole thing with Al, we got Van and Ern, and everybody's kind of like I said, we're getting the bows on everybody's story. So I'm like, okay, where are they going to go with Darius? And you know, when we mention Darius, we gotta know what's going somewhere crazy, right? It's not been a single episode with Darius where something crazy has not happened, for him walking into an old man's creepy house trying to get a piano to eat these goddamn
it's an acid trip. It's an acid trip every single time with that dude.
Every single time, you know, you're getting something crazy. I don't want. I guess if you watch this at this point, you know, you've seen the episode, right? This whole episode should just be retitled Black Inception. Because that's what this is.
It is. It literally is. It literally is.
Chris knows he about to get his check too.
Yeah.
But
woke Inception.
I'm really happy with how this tied up, because like I said, I mean, it handled Darius, I think, in a really good way. And it also handled all the core 4 group being together, being wrapped up, like you said, showing them, you know, going to be okay. We know where everybody's journey is going, so there was no need to really get into all that or try to wrap that up. In this last episode, it was just, here's a little bit more of what the gang is up to when they're together, plus this whole Darius situation, plus this, and it was just well. And Judge Judy, you know, man, she was looking good.
Yeah, man. So these fools going to check out a Black-owned sushi spot, and I love sushi, but like, okay, so listen.
Oh man,
listen. Let me say something. And me and Terrell have been out to eat a few times, and I have told him particular rules. You don't go to certain spots, and I don't care what the spot is, but the staff must match what the cuisine is. You do not go to a pho spot and there's Black people working giving you Vietnamese food. You do not go to a soul food spot and Asian people are back there serving you food. You damn sure do not go to a sushi spot and Black people are chefing it up. I'm sorry. It's just, and I'm not saying that it can't be done, but I'm telling you that my reserves are going to wait for Yelp reviews, because it's just what it is. We're good at what we do. They're good at what they do. And I don't think we need to be impeding into other cuisine, into the notoriety of saying, oh, we've done it. And I can make that joke because, like, yeah, I'm sure there's some standouts in some of these things, and I know there is because I've had different ones. But it's to say that, like, I much like Paperboy said, nah, bro, hold on, this ain't right. But at the same time, these motherfuckers, and matter of fact, I gotta say, man, I can't even say it because YouTube been on our ass right now about our language, so I'm gonna just chill. But these MFers, they are hyped for some Popeyes, and I swear on everything.
Backup plan from coming through the jump. Like he's like, look,
my man said,
get the Popeyes, go get the chicken sandwich.
My man said, I can smell the manager being mean as hell.
Yeah. Yo,
hey,
yo, I don't know how Popeyes is not using this for their commercials, yo. Why are we?
It's being loaded up. It's being loaded up right now. Listen, they're gonna stop. Popeyes need to just come off their little whatever, and they need to just come down to the streets. They just need to. They need to advertise like Wendy's do. They need to be ratchet on Twitter like Wendy's is. Wendy's will clap back on anybody. Yeah. Popeyes need to do the same. Come off this little plateau of this whole professionalism and cater to your folks because we out here lobbying for you all.
As soon as they mentioned the Popeyes, the first thing I thought about was RDC, and they just had a whole thing with the Popeyes. like I'm not going no Popeyes unless West. But like to go back to your point, I'm not eating at a Panda Express, yo. Mainly and I don't want to sound racist, but mainly because it's Mexicans in the kitchen. And I'm not eating Mexican made Asian food. That's just me personally. That's just me. Like, look.
To be clear, because I feel like some of y'all are going to judge us. So let me add some education to things. Cuisines are really embedded into people's like family history and DNAs and whole family lineage. That's why these recipes, especially first thing you think of is Italians, yeah, because it's been embedded in their family for years and generations and so on. That's why when it comes down to here, it's like it's a certain dignity to it. That's why somebody can't just come into the family. It's like, oh, I'm gonna cook that shit and I'm gonna make it out. It's just not like that. And I think it has to be the same presentation at restaurants. Where like, if folks want to know how it should taste, how it should be cooked, to what temperature, and how it should be presented, it's got to be for somebody that got that experience behind. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause I feel like I could go in there for a long time. Yeah. Anywho, Darius is going to get a sensory deprivation therapy by going to the tank. I've had a coworker that's done this, so I know about it. While he's at the, he goes to the pharmacy to get some medication. He also meets this lady, and she's like, "Oh, I couldn't help but to hear that. I've done that as well too." And Darius is just being who he is. Having a little bit of time at the pharmacy trying to get his stuff. For whatever reason, but he gets it, and he tells the lady that I love your energy, and he's often popping, you know what I mean? But anyway, when he get there, before he get there, he was he mentioned that talk about his experiences, and he says, yeah, let me tell you how I can tell if I'm dreaming or not. And my man said, listen, Judge Judy is always on TV, facts. And if I see her on TV and she thick, I'm gonna need my Siri to chill out. He says, if I see her on TV and she thick, I know she's in a tank. And I said, let me rewind that real quick, because I know I did not just hear what I thought he just said. My man just said, if she thick, then I know I'm in the tank, which means he's sleeping. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what that was going to mean later, but I guess we will find out very soon.
Judy got that BBL.
Definitely. All that money. Hey, listen, the memes are about to go wild. Black Twitter. Yeah, let's set the watch right now. Black Twitter at about, let's see, after the episode air, give it about an hour and a half after the episode air. BBL Judy is going to be online. And hey, listen.
We started it here first.
You're messing with a judge. I cannot wait to see what happens with this.
Oh my goodness.
I cannot wait to see what happens. This is going to be wild. She's definitely gonna bring this up on one of her episodes.
Of course, she might laugh it off. It's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She had to see the episode before this went down. But anyway, Van Earn and Paperboy, they are at the sushi spot, and the chef is yelling out, "Sup?" Don't be yelling at my sushi spot, bro. This ain't no game. Listen, let me get my shrimp tempura, California roll, and whatever your specialty is, and let me get out the way because right now my whole crew is thinking about that Popeyes. It's over here.
Yeah, it's right there out the window.
What was you thinking so far in this episode, man?
I'm thinking this is wild because the first thing they say is like, "Yo, this sushi spot used to be a blockbuster, yo." It's got, when you walk in, it's got the candy racks around the door. I'm like, yo,
my man had do-rags, sponges for the curls. I'm like, oh, this has got to be the most nigga rich sushi spot I've ever seen him. Oh my god, bro.
They was trying something new for real. Like they was trying something new for real. Like I personally wouldn't have went there, but yeah, like they said, yo, like that Popeye is gonna be the backup plan. I can smell that. I want to get that chicken sandwich before the teenagers get out, get crowded.
I gotta be honest too. My uncultured friends, they think the same way. I remember first time we go to Korean barbecue, and these mothers was just like, "What is this?" And I'm just like, "Oh my god!" And they already plotting on another spot after this. I'm like, "There's no way you're leaving this not full." So I can think what y'all want, but there's no backup plan after this. But like, that's how some people are. And this is country boy, paper boy, coming to a cultured spot that's really not that cultured. Right. He's just like, I don't care about this. I'm trying to get this Popeyes, man. Anyway, Darius is walking to the spot in London. One of his ex joints rolls up on him, listening to Gorilla. All right, listen. I don't know how much heat I'm gonna get for this one, but I don't care who you are. If you pull up to fuck nigga free, you ratchet, and that's the whole tone. And I don't care. There was a lot of evidence that she was ratchet, but the song alone, that was all I needed to hear.
Oh yeah,
that's all I needed to hear. And that shit, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen in Atlanta. This shit is so funny. And homegirl had the vodka in the bottle, the beer bottle on the bottom of the floor, hitting the blunt, and she talking about she microdosing. And of course they get pulled over, which is the funniest thing. When the siren went over, boop, boop, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
Speed up, air it out.
Wildness. She said, hey, put your foot on the bottle, which was hilarious. She put her glasses on, bring down the visor, says, what she say? I'm sober. I'm sober. Something of that she repeated to herself. And I was like, whatever she do, she done. She is done. But the cop, we gotta talk about how funny the cop is, because the cop come in and was like, yo, do you know why I pulled you over? He's like, nah, officer, what I did is like, you driving a murdered out Altima. Hey, folks.
He said, hey, the tents on the winter.
Yeah, translation, you're driving a murdered out baby mom vehicle. This ain't your mother whip. And he said, so have you been drinking? And the homegirl was like, nah, so what was in the bottle? He said, it's water. If it was anything else, would I chug it like this? And I felt my liver hurt by her chugging that vodka. I was just like, oh my God.
16 ounce, man. Like, I was like...
But he pulls out for the sobriety check, and this is the funniest thing ever, because she's literally out there voguing while doing the joint. And he asked her a weird question. He asked her about how many something is in space.
How many seasons of Homeboys of Outer Space are there? I was like, what? At that point, I was like, all right, this got to be some bullshit. Like, ain't no white cop about to be that hip.
Yeah.
She was like, one. Like,
yeah, what year did Leprechaun in the Hood come out?
Who was the main? Yeah, come on. Like,
and homegirl was like hitting it with the voguing fashion. I was like, oh my God. But listen, was there by any means did you ever predict what was going to happen next?
Absolutely not.
What did you think?
No tell here.
What did you think when she pulled the strap?
Messing with you at this point.
Yeah, when she pulled the strap from the cop and ran and got into the car and then hit the little kid and then got out the car and said, I'm sorry, it's your fault. I swear to God, I can't even laugh now because I laughed so hard. I literally laughed loud. I was just like,
Dude, I was dying. I didn't know where the show was going next. I'm like, oh my god, that man, he just wanted to walk, to the spot, like get it over with, like.
And then it was trippy because I'm like, she had the gun when she got out, and then next thing you know, he had the gun in his hand. I was like, what the? And then he woke up in the tank. I was like, oh boy, here we go. It's about to get crazy now. Yeah, it woke Inception is what happened in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And he woke up in that giant, and he was like, oh, get me out, get me out. He gets out, goes to the tea room.
The tea, right? Keeps in the tea room.
Yeah,
tea in the tea room.
Tea in the tea room, and the three older white ladies are just laughing their ass off because of the tea room. Don't know what was funny. Must be an inside joke. Somebody give us a translation in the comments below. But then he yells. That caught me off guard too when he yelled at the lady. I was like, oh shit, where'd that come from? And then he got kicked out.
He had to double check. He had to make sure.
Yeah, he did. Oh man. But then he got kicked out. But we'll come back to that in a second. Anyway, he goes to we go back to the sushi spot, and that's where we get a view of the little end caps with the candy, the durag, and the sponges and whatnot. Hey folks, if you've never been to a sushi spot, I'm gonna tell you that if they're gonna offer you a drink, it's probably gonna be water unless you ask for anything else. But for whatever reason, if they do offer you a premium drink, it's gonna be a hot tea or a sake. I can promise you that there's no restaurant going to give you hot white Henny. I said this.
I thought I misheard that shit. Like, I was like, what? It was like, yo, looked at this man like, what?
This is nigga rich for real, bro. Like,
I mean,
oh my god,
it was on tap. It was premium.
That shit took me out. I was like, I think I'm done with the episode now. I didn't need to see anything else. I said, yeah. What man came up was like hot white Henny? People like, I need to go to the bathroom, bro.
No hot Hennessy, man.
No one has ever had hot Hennessy. That's just not a thing. Oh my goodness. But Darius, we see Darius now. The medicine he got was for his boy, but it really wasn't his boy. It was his brother.
Get a little insight there.
Yeah, because he had that moment of saying, how's mom, how's dad, and that was something I wasn't expecting. That was a little bit of a little felt moment there, because this was where his mind is taking him in the dreams, and this is where we again see Judge Judy on TV, and Judge Judy is thick as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he wakes up, but I mean, like, it should be noted that like this was him channeling his inner consciousness and something that's obviously been weighing on him. And he went to go see his brother that was there. And obviously his brother is dealing with something. That's why he brought him medicine. And, he was happy to be there for him. And, obviously they must have not have been on the same page for a while, because, he was kind of like, I got to go. And his brother's like, oh, no, you can go. But, that awkwardness is like, I want you here and I want to be here. But you know what? And then that's when his brother went to the kitchen. He started to say like, well, how's mom and how's dad, And I take that in terms of like, I know they're brothers because the picture, even though it didn't really look like Darius, but the picture. Oh, yeah. And maybe that's what really sent him down this new identity, you know what I mean? Where he kind of redefined himself with this new look, aesthetic, and meditation, and all these things that he is, because he's actually really troubled through a lot of the things. And this is why he has to go to the sensory deprivation therapy, because this is something that helps him. But yeah, him saying like, how's mom, how's dad, means that like he's lost everybody but his family. I mean, for his friends, that's his family, you know? So that I was kind of like, damn, like,
yeah,
it's the closure. But something you've been saying for all these reviews is we're getting more about these characters' backstories that we haven't had, and this was just one I just didn't see. What was your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, the show primarily revolves around Ern and Alfred, so we know all the friends and family, but we've never in 4 seasons touched. We've never touched him at all. He's always just kind of been like the goofball character, or the character we just expect some weird stuff out of. And we get a little insight of the past of his brother being sick, clearly dealing with an illness. And he died, and you never see what his home looks like. So I'm assuming this is his house, because he clearly came through the front door. And we see him have that conversation, and nobody's there. And we like I said, that the tank is sending him through these different moments of his life, and dealing with past girlfriends, his brother, and dealing with certain things in his life. And I'm sure all of those moments were like intentionally placed, that he's going through. But definitely nice to see that, like you said, him build this identity, build this whatever for himself to help him cope with those things that he never talks about.
Yeah. Hey, what you think about Judge Judy ass?
Oh, that was nice.
Okay, yeah.
It makes me want to watch Judge Judy right after this.
Yeah, for sure. Judge Judy Justice on Freevee right now, season 2. Tune in so you can see them. So you can see them cheeks.
Hey, look at getting to a plug.
But yeah, he clearly did an episode of Inception, because now he woke up and he was like, okay. I mean, but that's what he said. He said, if Judge Judy looking thick, then he knows in the dream.
Right.
Going back to the sushi spot, the blowfish rare delicacy.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, I'm not eating that on a regular basis. I'm not taking
not at all. I'm going to Popeyes too. I know the chef didn't have his gloves on. I know that seems like a problematic, but I don't think sushi chefs wear gloves. I'm not sure, because the idea of crafting the rolls, huh?
Last spot I went to, he was wearing gloves.
I can't remember, but I know there has to be like, but you are touching different fishes, so I guess you do have to wear gloves. Yeah. So yeah. Because I was thinking like, because of like the technique of having to roll the sushi, maybe you only can do it with your hands, but maybe you need gloves. Everything you can't use gloves though. But look, maybe sushi.
I got officially licensed as a sushi chef on a cruise ship, so I know I was wearing gloves.
Oh, okay, then there it is. That's all we need to hear. But yeah, my man was like, listen, it's time for us to go to Popeyes. But man, this was so funny.
I thought he was trying to sneak out the bathroom, yo. Thought it was a window in the back. Apparently, he had to go to a whole different spot to use the bathroom.
My man got attacked by Louis Farrakhan from the Nation of Islam.
He got the
and my man said, "You going to Popeyes, aren't you?" They all do. He said the modern day coon chicken. I'm like, oh my God. He gave us the whole history about it being somebody from the Italian recipe and the Aunt Jemima of chicken. I mean, my man is going in, telling us all sorts of different things. And I was just like, oh my God. But I never knew that they thought like they were going to get killed. He's like, I thought we were going to die, but
said lock the door. You gonna eat this damn fish. You gonna eat this blowfish, yo.
Yeah. Anything you want to add on this before I talk about Darius saving the day?
So first of all, if I see a Muslim dude owning a sushi spot, yo, I'm not eating that, yo. I'm not eating at that spot, yo. And the fact that they kept mentioning the poison made it even more suspicious. Like, and no, because first of all, I'm like, all right. It's like, yeah, eat the fish. I would like, yeah, you eat a piece first, and then I'll follow up. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, he delicately cut this himself. The chef will be, insulted if you didn't eat the blowfish. Nobody wants to eat the blowfish. According to the Yelp reviews, the niggas got the black people got the poison fish over there. We not eating. Everybody wants to go to the Popeyes. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see them out there cooning it up, eating pop. Like, yo, it was the craziest scene. It was the most intense, crazy scene because this dude was mad serious about black. It was a whole speech about black people not supporting black-owned businesses because, like you said earlier, if you see a certain aesthetic, you're not going. Your brain's just not going to process it. Like nah, I'm good on that. Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't see black people out here working at the they do work at the Olive Garden, but my whole point is an Italian spot, stuff like that. But it was wild, yo. At that point, I'm like, they make you question because of how crazy it was, and we are still seeing the whole Inception stuff. Are we still in the tank right now because of how crazy that is?
Oh boy.
It was a wild scene, but yeah, the hot Hennessy would have took me out.
So Darius comes through the door, saves them, punches the representative of the Nation of Islam. They jump in a pink Maserati, do some donuts in the parking lot, and they're having the best moment of their life, man. They eating Popeyes. I mean, they looking back like, oh my God, we got Popeyes. I was dying when when Paperboy brought out the Popeyes. I was like, oh my God.
You think they went to the same Popeyes?
Man, at this point now, listen, there's a lot kind of happening that makes this feel very dreamy. So I'm just going to say that for a second. But you know, when he gets back to the crib, you know, he asks us like, am I still in the tank? It's like, no, you're really here. You're really with your friends. You always been in your dream. Like, this has always been your dream to want this, you know. It's a little bit of play on words here. It's a little bit difficult to kind of, and rightfully so. So anyway, the whole crew goes out and smoke, and Darius says he'll be there for a minute. He'll be there in a second. Just wait for him. And Judge Judy, of course, is on TV. And we don't actually get to see them cheeks again, so we don't know. But he did give a little smirk. They did play the Funkadelic song. The song is familiar, which also kind of added a little bit of context as well too. So now we don't know. Was this all a dream for Darius? How far of a dream was this, or was it actually reality? And he just was happy. Was he happy to have that moment?
Right.
I'm going to give my prediction. I'll let you close. Is that I think from everything that we got from in this episode, I think he channeled a lot of trauma and hurt. And I think to have that moment to realize like this is his family. And although it doesn't seem real, it is real. Is the story being told here. And that's why I think he smirked, because he had that moment of looking at it and saying like, yeah, this is real. You know, it's not a dream. And, you know, the other instances of him being in a dream was kind of startled, and he obviously didn't look happy. He definitely was kind of just like, what the hell is going on? So I think that look that we got from him, that little smirk, that little bit of sigh of relief, was that like, no, nah, bro, like this is your life. This is your family. You know, you're just as important to all of them. You saved the day. You made everybody happy. They had the best Popeyes of their life, and y'all ready to smoke, man. But y'all all together. The four of you all. It's always been the four of you all, and I think that's really dope.
Yeah, that was a good summary. But yeah, the last part of this show like puts the entire series in question. They literally do the end of Inception with the spinning top, but make Judge Judy the thing, right? They do that by not having Judge Judy's on the TV, but they don't show you the television when the scene where she's getting up. So now we don't know if all of this has been legit, like a thing, if it's been in his head, or what part of the series has been in the question. So I thought that was really well done, because like, I mean, obviously it's going to split on both sides. Like, oh yeah, I think it's real because of this. Yeah. Or now Darius is now the thing on the show that puts it all in the question, because there's been some really outlandish stuff throughout the entire show that will be like, okay, now that makes way more sense now, because like this was a dream joint that was in Darius's head. And now you'll start to question like those moments where Darius was around, in episodes where he was around, was that also a dream? Because like I said, it was some really wild stuff that has happened. So the moments where Darius isn't there, it's like pretty normal. Like pretty normal stuff, you know, nobody's doing anything crazy, anything like that. And then if you go back, and I'm sure if you go back and view the episodes again with Darius, you'll be like, okay, this is kind of questionable. Was this a dream sequence? How long? So Donald Glover, Atlanta, they've definitely tied this up crazy. Like, you know, like where is this like, okay, yeah, this could have happened, or where does this go going forward if this is in Darius's head the entire time? Or is the show, I'm not gonna say the show is through the perspective of Darius, because there's obviously stuff that he wouldn't be able to know, but yeah, like that was a really good way to end that.
Yeah. Well, folks, it's been a ride, and we're going to have more content here at Big O Bill Media, so you don't have to worry about that. But totally let us know your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings about the conclusion, the series finale of Atlanta. Let us know, is it a dream or was it not a dream? Let us know your theories and your predictions on that. Would you like to see more from Donald Glover? Would you like to see more from these characters if Donald Glover is not involved? Which is something I suspect. But nonetheless, you know, just let us know all your thoughts below in the comments. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, rocking with us this entire season and before, and we'll see you back with another show, more content very, very soon. Thank y'all for watching.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get some Popeyes.